The United States, moving on to this, is looking to boost its influence in the Pacific as China ramps up its military capabilities. And in just a few hours, President Biden is set to hold a summit with the leaders of more than a dozen Pacific nations, including Australia, New Zealand. The United States will also establish diplomatic relations with the Cook Islands and also Niue for the first time. The White House says the three-day meeting will focus on climate change, economic growth, sustainable development, among other priorities. But experts say it's a push to step up engagement in a region that both the United States and China do consider to be their backyard. Let's bring in retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General Richard Newton, NewsNation senior national security contributor. General, happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good weekend. This is a three-day charm offensive, right? I mean, I'm curious, I guess, how effective it'll be in countering China as it also seeks to expand its influence over Pacific Island nations.
Well, good morning, Marky. It's I think, a very good move by the Biden administration. This is the second summit. He actually hosted the inaugural summit of these Pacific Islands last year, and was going to do so back in May, but there was a debt ceiling, crisis that he was not able to travel to Asia Pacific. But this is critical because the Pacific region is vital to U.S. national security interests. These islands play a role there, and also the fact that we're trying to decrease the influence of China in that region, in the Pacific region specifically. So I think it's vital that we, and especially the administration now, continues the engagement of these island nations for the benefit of certainly U.S. national security, but also for economic ties and so forth, as well as, candidly, to stem off the Chinese, who are looking everywhere, especially in the Pacific, to try to, grow their influence around the world.
And when you say grow their influence around the world, as I mentioned off the top, United States and China both see this as their backyard. So what are China's specific goals in that region, and who's winning the battle here, if you will?
Well, in terms of wins and losses, it's hard to put, who's winning, who's losing at this point. The key point, though, Marky, is engagement. And China has, if you look at it from their perspective, they see the Pacific as their backyard as well. It is a vital interest to them, but they're trying to grow their influence. They're trying to grow their influence, Marky, anywhere they possibly can around the globe, but specifically in the Pacific. I think also what you'll see is the administration will try to close the gap between not only the United States, but Japan, perhaps Australia and India, what we call the Quad, Defense Cooperation Relationship, and offer up the opportunity for these Pacific Islands to join that cooperative relationship on the defense side. But there's also economic and financial aspects of this, Marky, that are important. So there's a number of efforts here. I think my hope is, again, as I've said many times, hope is not a strategy, but engagement is key. Wherever that the United States can engage effectively in hosting these, what will be, I believe, 14 leaders from these Pacific Islands, is a positive move for the United States.
Yeah, and when you talk about, financial impacts here, I know the White House just last year said the U.S. would invest more than $810 million in expanded aid for the Pacific Islands, including climate investments. But Congress has reportedly yet to approve those funds. In your eyes, what's the likelihood that lawmakers would actually back expanded infrastructure spending in this part of the world, with Ukraine already such a source of tension?
It is. I don't expect Congress to approve, a full scale of several hundred millions of dollars. But there are some, if we could get perhaps a couple hundred million or so that will then be focused on, U.S. international development. In fact, the U.S. Agency for International Development lead, she will actually be hosting the summit. And so I think along those lines, which is a relatively small investment. I know our viewers are going to say, hundreds of millions of dollars is significant. It is. But in the grand scheme of things, I believe this is a very good investment for the United States should we move forward with it. The challenge, Marky, though, is as you go from Congress to Congress, as we're discovering at the end of this week, in terms of keeping the government open, whether or not those monies will continue to show U.S. commitment is going to be key as well. But I think it's important that regardless of the administration, that we engage in this region, that we engage specifically now with these Pacific Islands, because we're in a global strategic competition with China. And so therefore we need to engage and continue to follow through.
Yeah, we'll see what the rest of this summit has in store. I know they had some fun. They went to the Colts-Ravens game last night. So many of the players do have Pacific Island heritage. So I know that was important, but also a good time. General Richard Newton, thanks so much as always.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.